Welcome to Realities of Life. Today is soft life and self-deception. Everybody wants a soft life, but nobody wants the hard discipline that creates this soft life. We live in a time where people want results without process. They want success without struggling for it. Some want rewards without adding any responsibility to make these rewards available. But I have come to ask, is this confidence or is it entitlement? Today we are confronting the illusion and talking about how to move from entitlement to ownership. Especially as young Africans, don't be entitled to other people's success. Try and own your own. Ask yourself, how do I own my own? As we discuss this, we'll be navigating through life in UK, through life of young Africans in United Kingdom and beyond. This is Realities of Life, where excuses end and accountability begins. With me on stage today is Dr. Bidwell Ekbelibe.
Thank you so much.
We have come to look at this episode very, very well. It says soft life or self-deception, entitlement in the age of social media. Social media is doing a lot of, I don't know whether to say harm than good. Yes, but let us add it now as we listen to this short story of mine before I ask my co-host some questions. It says, Amaka graduated and refused several entry-level jobs because they were beneath her. According to her, she believed she deserved a high-paying role immediately. 2 years later, she was still unemployed, blaming the government and lack of opportunities. This mirrors a wider issue where some youths believe success should come without process or humility. So, in the light of this story, let me throw some questions to my host as we discuss it. Okay? The first question comes like this. Has social media created unrealistic expectations of success and lifestyle?
Yes, thank you so much, Reverend Meredith, for being the host. Yeah, social media, we are in the age of social media where it is quite in the air. Every child born within this age, tilts towards social media kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
The idea of borrowing cultures, borrowing ideas, borrowing thoughts, from the media. That's what is obtainable today. So it has permeated the rank and file of our society, the fabrics of our society. Every child today, you don't need to teach that child how to go about the computers or the handsets. They know it because it's in the air. And we must also understand that the social media is equally good, but we live in a world where the enemy of mankind, which is the devil, is also at work, using the same tool that man has brought into being to work against man. Okay? So it creates, just like the question goes, unrealistic expectations of success and lifestyle.
Yeah.
So the young ones, instead of facing their destiny, eyeball to eyeball, going to school, coming out, learning a skill to become useful in the society, instead they want to borrow the kind of lifestyle that they see,
yes,
that they see on the media, and they don't even know how those people got to that level of life. All they want to know is this person is enjoying this kind of crowd, so I have to also enjoy that kind of crowd. So many people enter into a lot of illicit way of gathering crowds, and some of them even engage in diabolism, and sacrifices in order to become whatever they think that ought to they should have become. So it works against the youth. It works against even the adult. It gives you an unrealistic lifestyle, and then if you don't take time, you will leave the path of your destiny, and then you begin to live another person's kind of destiny. I think that is one of the things that I've noticed about social media. Yeah.
If I may chip in a little thing there, most of the things that are shown on social media, they are AI generated. Most young people out there refuse to understand it. When they see it, they tend to move with it. They want to achieve it, not knowing, not realizing that they're not realities. They are just fake, false pictures painted with AI. Okay? If they can come to the knowledge of it and be ready to face reality and know what they can take out of social media and what not to take, it will help them a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second question, sir, goes like this. Why do some people reject humble beginnings but still expect big outcomes?
Yeah, it's just like the case study of, what's the name again? Amaka. Who graduated, and then a job was there for her to take. You know, her expectation says, I deserve a high-paid job, a high-paid role. And an opportunity came for him to take the job. But he looks at that job as though the job is beyond her qualification. Now, and take for instance, if you qualify, in any discipline, your first degree is just like a secondary school certificate. In the past 20 years. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So you need to beef up yourself, upskill yourself, at least do some certificate courses or go to a master's degree program so as to be versatile in that area. So until you step up your skill, and your first degree is just like the beginning.
Yep.
So when you get a job that you think is lower, why not start from there and then to build up? So because of this high expectation, it is good to have an expectation, as a new graduate. But you need to understand that your expectation have to measure up with your skill. If you don't have a skill, you don't have to have a high expectation. Otherwise, you want to live the lifestyle of somebody that you have seen on the social media who was busy beefing up his or her skill, because he doesn't have to come to you to take an excuse. Oh, I want to do a course. I'm doing a course. No, many of them are well studied in tech, so they know how to, and in investment strategies, they know how to invest, and then you don't know. And you think that is he not a guy that lives on our streets and is controlling certain amount of funds? No, the guy is busy upskilling himself. Now he's very good in investment. He's very good in taking risks, but you are not.
Yeah.
And now you want to do the kind of job that he does, or you want to earn the kind of pay that he earns. And that exposes the young ones to more troubles. You understand? Many of them, when they try to get to a certain point and then they cannot get to a certain point, what they will do is that they start engaging in drugs, because of depression, and then you see them partying left and right, trying to make ends meet, which will never meet. So the best thing is for you to hold on, look back, look at yourself. This level that I am I supposed to be here, or do I need to move forward? If the answer is to move forward, then register for some courses, certificate courses. Go for a postgraduate courses. There's never a time you start studying that is late. Many of us that have crossed about 40 years or so, we are still in school, we still study. You understand? When you study, you are alive. A brain that is not studious is a brain that is dead. And the more you are dead, you understand, is the more you become of no consequence in this world. The world is not waiting for anybody. You have to brace up and then go for the best. So that humble beginning of starting from a lower amount of money to a higher amount of money is what many young ones will never want to do, because of their exposure, early exposure to social media contents. And I wouldn't want to blame only the young ones. I would also want to blame their parents. Because we have seen in situations where parents buy a handset for their children that are under 6 years. You understand? Tablets and handsets. And then even to the point of buying iPhone. The current iPhone, most of them have it and they go to school with it.
Yeah.
And I could remember one of the days I was doing a supply teaching in one of the schools, and I wanted to take the phone from the child, and the child reported me to the principal, and the principal took it against me, and I lost that job. I'm telling you the truth. So the point is, people don't really understand what they are doing to their young ones by exposing them early to social media. Most of us were not exposed early to social media, and that's why many of us are at the point that we are in life. We are not frustrated, we are not depressed, because we have gone through the process. You understand? And then it will be difficult for us to fall to the background now. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
So I'm encouraging the young ones. The humble beginning is a sine qua non. That is a place you must have to start.
Yes.
So that you can move up, upskill yourself, have some experiences until you get to the place that your expectation is telling you that is where you should be. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Adding to that, this brings me to the one of the debates I watched in a lazy Nigerian youth movement. What they discussed there was show how entitlement versus reality became a major national conversation.
Yeah.
About youth expectations and responsibilities. Yes, though we parents, we want our children to be responsible, but at times we with our own hands spoil it. We with our own hands teach them that they can get what they want without working for it. Just like Dr. really said that some parents buy handset for their children under 6 years, not just handset, with full internet. When the child goes to YouTube and start navigating, he might come across things that he might not be able to control.
And dark webs.
Yes, what he's only seeing is the success. He's not seeing how they were made, how the people got to there. That is why in most of African countries now, most boys, they do everything to make money. They do everything humanly possible to make money. And when they make that money, they can't even control it. They can't control it because they didn't work for it. Okay, so I will urge some parents out there that is at the sound of our voices to start withdrawing some rights that they've given to their young ones. When you remove those things you've given to them, those rights, their head will start thinking otherwise. They will start thinking properly, knowing that you must have to do something to get something. Things don't just fall from the blues. No.
Take for instance, how can you buy an iPhone 17? That's the latest, right? For a child, and you expect the child to work hard?
No, he can't.
In the future to buy a phone?
No.
He will never work hard. Do you know how the child will be thinking? Oh, I got this iPhone when I was under 16. So now what are you telling me to work? Why should I work?
Why should I work?
You see, we program them to start thinking that they don't need to labor. Yes. They don't need to work.
Yes.
And that is where the problem is. And that child will never be that dream that you wanted. You yourself, for instance, that is telling the child to take iPhone 17 as a birthday gift. Did your parent buy you a phone at that age?
No.
It's a question for us parents to answer.
Yeah.
So let us stop feeling that we don't know what's happening in the society. The children are entering into drug, partying, they are the Yahoo this, Yahoo that, deceiving people, doing sacrifices. No, we are the cause.
Yes.
The moment we retrieve our steps from engaging them in things that they are not matured to engage in,
yes,
we will see our children grow up.
Yes, they will start reasoning the other way. For instance, my first son, he never had a phone until he was 19 years.
Yes.
And the phone he got at that 19th birthday, he won it from something they did in school. He won it because we took him to where he went and retrieved the phone.
Without internet.
That was his first phone, without internet.
Yes.
But all the while before 18, he was using my own phone for his school assignments. And I can see the difference between him and the rest. Okay? So parents, please, make a U-turn. Go back to the basics.
Yeah.
You can still put well the mistake you made before by making it right. Let us help our children to reason well. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Bidwell, we're now coming to the third question, which says, what is the difference between knowing your worth and entitlement?
Okay, knowing your worth and entitlement is like in advising somebody, stop living above your expectation. Stop living above your worth.
Above your worth.
you are the one that have the certificate, for instance. You know the qualification you have, so you should be able to know where it can take you.
Yeah.
Look around you in this world of today. Look around you. You will notice that your first degree is nothing. Your first degree is just like an intro into the world of academics. And now when it comes to getting jobs and things like that, your first degree might not be able to get you a better job. You need to upskill yourself. So you move into skill development. You start engaging with, doing certificate courses. These are the things that will help you as a young person to, get the jobs that you are dreaming about. So, and it will help you to start having entitlement mentality. Because being entitled to a job does not exist today. Except your father is the owner of the company. And if your father is somebody that is savvy in his area of, business, he will not even employ you because you are the son or the daughter. He will employ you because you are qualified, because you passed the interview.
Yes.
So let us face the reality. That's why this show is Reality of Life. Because the reality is that when you look at your qualification, that is your academic worth. You can upskill yourself. That is your real worth. And then you take it forward. You can now get some jobs that you dream of. So the difference between knowing your worth and entitlement is you sitting up to face the reality, upskill yourself, and stop equating yourself with people you see on the social media. That's a fake life. That's a fake life. We're advising the young ones we are not telling you to stay away from the social media. Social media is what is a tool of this end time. That's the tool of this age. You also have to be there in order to advertise what you've got, that is genuine, so you can sell it to your society, to your world. That is okay. But make sure you are right there in the social media in order to do what you are sent there to do, and not to copy people, you understand, and their lifestyle, because it will make you to start to have a high expectation of whatever you think you are desiring. All you need to do is to check your worth. If your worth is not okay for you, upskill yourself, and then your worth will get you your world. It is your worth that will get you your world, your worth. So build on your worth, upskill yourself, and that is it. Upskill yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
my question here goes, do you know your worth?
Okay.
Because it is only when you know your worth that you know what you're entitled to. You know your entitlement. But most people out there, they don't care to check what is my worth. They keep equating themselves, maybe to their friends, maybe the people that neighbors before, maybe the people, their schoolmates years back. My schoolmate is driving, bought a new Mercedes. So that is my own entitlement. While you never went to the school your mates went after you parted in your school, you didn't go forward. You don't know what he or she did. You didn't even know where he or she has worked for some time and had some savings to buy that car. You didn't do any of those things. But for the fact he or she has come out with a Mercedes, you feel that is the class you are. Don't classify yourself with just mere eyes. Go inwards. Ask yourself, what is my worth? It is only your spirit that can tell you the truth about yourself. Until that, you will never know your right entitlement. Thank you. Hello, sir. We're coming with the last question now. How can young people shift from blaming the system to taking ownership? How can young people shift from blaming the system to taking ownership?
Okay. It's quite straightforward. First of all, acknowledge reality, but refuse powerlessness. Now, let me tell you, the systems, that's the economy, the education, the politics, whatever, can be limiting. You don't have to ignore that. But one thing you have to understand is that staying in blame keeps you stuck.
Yes.
Ownership begins with asking, what are you going to ask? You have seen that the condition is the way it is. Unemployment, lack, a lot of things, political upheavals, war, increase in fuel, this and that, a strike in some schools in Africa, a course that is supposed to be 3 years is now 6 years or 5 years, things like that. That is the thing that you are seeing, but you need to ask questions. Given this reality, what can I control? What can I control? Your skills, you have to look at that. We have said that before when we began this. Your skills, you have to look at that. Upskill yourself. Your attitude towards the situation. If you continue to stay in the blame game, you will never come out of it. You will be stuck. You become a slave of the system. So you must have to ask that question. You understand? Okay, your daily actions. What do you do on a daily basis? Are you in bed until 10 o'clock? You went to bed by 12 midnight. Yeah, you are waking up around 12 in the afternoon the following day. You can't make it in life that way. Already you are a failure. Already you are a failure. I always tell my family, I say, you can't be in bed after 6 o'clock. What are you doing in bed? The average sleep that you require as an adult, at least 4 hours, 5 hours at most.
Yeah.
Until you get old, you can start taking 7, 8 hours. Not when you are still young, you are in bed 8 hours, 9 hours. That means you are already sick. You have already failed. People are already up as at 2 a.m. The stock exchange and all these things, they're already in motion.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that your daily action speaks for you, that you don't like the system, not complaining about the system. Your network also, what kind of people do you carry along? What kind of network? Where are you situated? Who are the people in your contacts? Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
So you must acknowledge the reality, but you must refuse powerlessness. You must refuse it. That shift alone moves you from victim to a strategist.
Yes.
Asking questions.
Yes.
Secondly, you must replace complaints with questions, like I said before. Take for instance, there are no opportunities. Things are getting harder. We don't know what to do next. Every child now is running late. Nothing is going to change in their life. That is a blame game. It will not take you anywhere. What has the system done for me? And things like that. No. Have you ever asked yourself, what have you done for the system? Question creates movement. Complaints creates stagnation. When you ask questions, you are provoked to do something.
Yeah.
But when you begin to complain, you are stagnated. You are there going round and round and round and round, blaming somebody, blaming the other person. So that is not what it's supposed to be. The third one is that you have to build skills that travel. Yeah. Let your skill be above the system, so that you can fit in any system. You grow yourself. You increase. If you are not good in tech, you improve on your digital tech skills. Yes. You get registered somewhere and learn. Problem solving, financial literacy. You've got to know how to engage in investment. Today, we are living in an investment world where it has become digital. Nobody is coming to your house to knock like those days to ask you, please come and invest in our bank. No. You have to go yourself to the internet and then search and then get involved in what is going on and make your money. Some people sit at home and they make their money. Why? Because they have learned the skills of engaging with digital marketing, digital financing, and investments. So you have to improve yourself in those things. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's very, very important. When you are skilled, you are less dependent on a perfect system to succeed. So no matter the system you find yourself, your skill takes you above them. So you can live in anywhere. You can live in Africa, you can live in Europe, you can live anywhere. Your skill takes you forward. So you can start small. That's another point for you to shift from the blame game of the system to taking ownership. You can start small and win small. Why many people fail is that people are greedy. They want to start today to invest and then they start making 1 million. You invest today, next month they give you 1 million as a profit. Then something is wrong somewhere. So, and you see them because they look at people and they try to copy people from the social media. Maybe some musicians that have made it or some politicians that have made it. They want to be like that. So they don't want to make small profit. You start small, you end small until you grow. Yeah. You understand? So help yourself. Every week, at least one skill, learn it. Apply one opportunity daily. And then always learn how to save. I tell people around me, I say, you must learn how to save. If you get money and invest and push out all the money on things, you are going to suffer. You are going to suffer. Your savings will always help you, no matter how little they are. If you are paid some money, bring out money. Even after your expenses, make sure, even if it is $1, even if it is $10, even if it is £10, €10, 10,000 naira, whatever, save it. It's going to help you. It's going to help you. Then finally, you have to take responsibility for the environment.
Okay.
You take responsibility. Many people run from their responsibilities. They run from it. They don't want to take responsibility. You understand? So the kind of things that you listen to will help you. Okay. You know, so many people, they consume a lot of trash in the name of listening to blogs and listening to certain news and things like that. It suffocates you, and then you will always think that you are the defeated one. Okay, so who you listen to matter, what you listen to matter, the kind of conversations you entertain also matters. If your environment reinforces blame, ownership will feel unnatural. If all you see around you is blame, you will never be able to stand up to the reality. So that is it. So let us understand it. You learn from responsibility-driven thinkers. Try to connect with people, you know, that give you ideas, things to do, not telling you about the condition and stopping there. What am I to do to move forward? Faith-based perspective is also good, you know, and I want us to understand that. The Bible says in Galatians chapter 6 verse 5, it says each one should carry their own load. That means it brings responsibility to you. Yes. So you are not looking at your neighbor. He said everybody carry your own load. Are you listening to me? Yes. Proverbs chapter 6 verse 6 says, learn diligence from the ant. That's an example from the ant. You learn it from the ant. Diligence, little by little by little. And finally, Philippians chapter 4 verse 13, the strength to do things has been given to you as a Christian, if you are a Christian watching us. And it's very, very surprising that even many people, you know, that are not Christians, they imbibe these Christian values and they use it and they do well in their life. So redefine success as a responsibility. It's your responsibility to be successful. It is no other person's responsibility. Entitlement mentality when it comes to your worth is not acceptable. You have to beef up your worth by upskilling yourself. Thank you.
You're welcome. As an African parent, let's be honest with ourselves here. If you keep blaming the society or the system, you waste. If you blame the society for 1 year, you waste yourself for 1 year. If you blame the society for 10 years, you're wasting yourself for 10 years, because help doesn't come from blames. Nobody wants to say this, but this is realities of life. The earlier you stop blaming the society, blaming the system, rather blame yourself for not moving forward. It's only when you blame yourself that you strive to meet up with your responsibilities. But the moment you keep blaming other people, you will stay at a place. You're making yourself static. In our culture, this is common. People will sit at a place and be blaming other people. I was talking to my son the other day. I said it took somebody 26 years to stop blaming and realize the truth. That means 26 years has been wasted by the person. Okay? Some people, they want help. Some people don't want help. They want sponsorship. Entitlement is making plans with someone else's money, not your own money. Why don't you make plans with your own money? The person you're making plans with his own money has his own responsibilities and his own plans, which is not ready to tell you. You can't skip process and expect progress. It's not possible. Process brings the progress. So all of you at the sound of our voice, it is now time to have a rethink of yourself and your doings. Know that you need to do something to achieve something.
This is Realities of Life HQ, where we don't just talk, we confront the truth. If this challenged you, we encourage you to share it with someone who needs a reality check. Yes. Until next time, stay accountable, stay growing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, all of you at the sound of our voices. Please watch this tape from time to time. It will help you become a better version of yourself. Have a good day.
Thank you.